making their point in Washington, Chicago, Dallas, and in city after city in America and around the world. Today, the day after Donald Trump became their president, they chanted. They urged.
Come on, we got this. Keep on coming. Woo!
They shouted. And they waved every insult they could muster.
This is what democracy looks like.
Pink pussycaps, mocking Trump for comments he's made about women, reinforced in as many ways they could think of. Hundreds of thousands of Americans enraged by the man voted into office by millions of other Americans.
Do you mind explaining your thoughts on the Women's March and how you feel about it happening right after Trump came into presidency?
Well, I was definitely in support of the Women's March. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it, but I definitely would have loved to have been there to support my fellow ladies. Women deserve rights, and we should have the rights to our own bodies. And it's a crazy feeling you get when you have someone who is trying to dictate how you should live. And as a woman of color, it's definitely plays a big role in my life. So definitely all for the women who marched that day.
Yeah, so the Women's March was a big deal in my family. My grandmother and my mother knitted the pussy hats. Can I say pussy hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they were knitting for 2 months, and they made 20 hats. And then my grandmother is in a wheelchair, so she didn't want to go. But my mom marched. I couldn't because I had work and college life. Couldn't take the time off. But my mom went with a group from our church, and she had a really good time. It was a really big moment for her. She's a very strong woman. She's a woman that I can I've always really looked up to. She's the breadwinner in our household, and she pushes a lot of boundaries, I think. And so yeah, the march was important to me because it was important to my family and my family culture.
Do you think the people that were at the march were anti-Trump, or were they just fighting for their own rights and it wasn't about that at all?
Yes and no. I think that fundamentally women's rights are a little bit against Trump, but I think a lot of them were there just saying fuck Trump basically. Excuse me for my language, but others I felt were just there to really just reiterate their need to really say hey, we're here, we're still here for our rights.
How do you think the women that participated in the march are using it to help achieve greater goals?
I would say they're probably using it to publicize what they want to happen and their desires and their wants, and kind of just put it out there for everyone to know and everyone to rally together and to support each other and create a bigger network.